Hi everybody, we are here to talk about ways in which you can shift your perception to be a happier person. Through my experience between my energy healing clients that I'm life coaching or healing, and my history as being a personal trainer, my one-on-one sessions, and working with a lot of people personally, and through my own relationship with friends and significant others, I'd say that it seems as if almost the world is failing at figuring out how to truly be happy. That's unfortunate, so I figured I should make this video on how I learned to become a happier person. So, a lot of it had to do with books and studying and a lot of self-work, but I can kind of pretty much just tell you some ways in which I've really shifted my perception, shifted the way that I act or behave to then result in a more positive life. I guess in the end I'm happier. So I used to have a misconstrued perception of things. So little did I know that I was kind of, in a sense, feeding my negativity or my negative outlook on life. So these are some simple ways in which I've seen a big change in my day-to-day life. So the first thing is my perception of the homeless. Depending on where you live, you're bound to bump into a homeless person. And I used to really have a negative perception of them. And I felt that I could justify those feelings because I had come from a very, in a sense, hard life, and upbringing was a little bit more difficult than some, and going through the foster care system, through a failed adoption, suffering through abuse and all those kind of things. I was kind of the perfect poster child for maybe not being super successful. I didn't take that route. Instead I took the high road. And I had a sister who grew up with me and went through the same things that I did, yet she chose the other route. So she's actually been one of those homeless people that I really used to not enjoy being around or look down upon. And in my head, I was like, you know what? I know where you guys come from. I know what you're going through. I was there and I chose otherwise, and I know that it's a matter of choices that puts you where you are, like my sister. So I don't have any empathy for you, and I just was bothered and annoyed by any homeless person that would walk by me or approach me or ask me for money. I'm not like that anymore. Through a lot of self-work and self-development, I have came to the realization that everybody has a different path, and I just have a lot more empathetic way of handling them. So now when I'm around a homeless person, I, first and foremost, if they ask me for money, I give it. I have money to give, and it's really not a hassle for me to give even $1 or a couple quarters to them if they need it. And there's the feeling of like, I don't have any money for you. And then there's the feeling of like, here you go. Like right there, it changes your day, it changes your mind, it changes your heart, it changes your mood, it changes your vibration. And now I don't have this irritated, angry, frustrated, annoyed energy anymore every time that I am approached by a homeless person. Rather, I have peace and acceptance and empathy towards them, and in my mind, I don't say it out loud, but I pray for them. From the Bible, I have learned that you should pray for pretty much everybody. It even says to pray for your enemies or anyone that does you wrong or anyone that uses you. So I just pray for everybody that looks like they need a prayer, that it could help them. So if I see a homeless person, even if I see the homeless person and they don't even approach me, I ask God to bless that person with a healing or bless them with joy if they look upset. So this is another way in which I have improved my life, is that just praying for those that look like they may be angry or sad or depressed. When you see someone walk by on the road, that energy that they have in them can affect you. So if you see someone, they look super depressed, there's two ways in which you can react to that. Like, oh my God, like, Jesus, like, smile. What's wrong with them? Or you can be like, please God, bless that person with joy. If I see someone limping on the street, I don't know the person, in my head, I pray, please God, bless that person with a healing. Anything in which I see someone suffering, lacking, or struggling with, I pray for the opposite of which they are seeing that they may be lacking. Another way I've changed to live a happier life is I used to have road rage. Really bad road rage. I had it justified that people were stupid, idiots. Like, if you can't drive properly, get the fuck off the road. But I observed that there are millions and millions of people on the road all day, every day. And I noticed, every so often, I would make a mistake on the road. I would accidentally not look over my shoulder when I'm switching my lanes, or someone just seemed to come out of nowhere and I maybe pulled out on them or something like that. And in those moments, that person would react negatively to me, and it just is a nasty energy that can sit with you for quite some time. Like when someone's honking their horn and you, flipping you the finger or whatever. And I would be that person too, flipping the finger, blah, 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 honking my horn. But there were times that I was the person who was doing something wrong, and so they were flipping the finger at me and yelling at me. And I observed that, that doesn't feel good, and I didn't mean to make that mistake, and it kind of just happened because I'm not perfect. And I realized, okay, so there's millions of people on the road making mistakes just like myself, so you're bound to be on the receiving end of that mistake. What is the point of just getting so upset about it, So I just dropped the whole road rage thing. And I have seen myself in positions when I found out that my boyfriend cheated on me, I went out in my vehicle. I did something wrong at a four-way stop. So that person got mad at me and was like, I'm sorry, I'm a super weird mind state right now. I didn't mean that. I'm sitting with my friends and in their cars and seeing them make mistakes, and I'm not getting angry at them for making a mistake in their car. So why would I just get angry at the world for making mistakes on the road? So it is so important how you react to something. And so I have chosen to no longer get frustrated or angry, upset on the road. I very, very rarely ever use my horn. I try to use it as lightly as possible if someone really is on their phone, not looking, and their phone and the thing is red, and I'm like, okay. But sometimes I just wait it out. I'm just like, okay, this person's gonna realize at some point, and usually they realize maybe 10 seconds later. So what was really the big difference between 10 seconds of me honking, because I know that honk, it feels like shit. I have to work on getting it out of me, because it just sits in here and it sits in here, and you're just I am just accepting of people fuck up on the road. That kind of just really rolls into the fact that I am accepting of most things. I try to see that the more peaceful way in which I can experience something is first accepting it rather than really fighting it, because fighting it doesn't stop it from happening. It already happened. Now it's a matter of it happened, and now you get to react and experience and then let it go or hold on to it. So I am really proactive in letting things go. Letting things go meaning my boyfriend cheated on me. Most people would hold on to that forever. They would talk bad about the person. They would never talk to them again, etc. When I found out my boyfriend cheated on me, I said, okay, I get feeling super angry, super upset. I'm in a bad state of mind. So how can I get out of here? I got into my car and I started thinking that. And immediately for me, it's obviously not for everybody, but I thought back to the time when I was 20 and I had cheated on my boyfriend. A whole different experience, but he forgave me. And I'm super grateful and thankful for that. So I decided to then bestow the same empathy on my ex and forgive him in that moment, because I seen that my life and his life with the other ex that I cheated on was so much more peaceful and more joyful and supportive. We can help each other. We have helped each other since, and just by forgiving. So I forgave him. I mean, I saw it kind of as a blessing too. I was like, okay, maybe we're not meant to be together. And it's been years since then, and I've had many life experiences since that I would never have had I been with him. So in a way, I'm grateful for that experience. That is another way in which I'm a lot happier. It's just when someone hurts you, intentionally or unintentionally, move through it, let it go, accept it, forgive them. Because not forgiving them, not letting it go, having a super negative outlook on that situation is just a way of holding on to weight, holding on to poison, it does no good for either one of you. And I can't count how many ways my life has been blessed, the positive things that have came from us forgiving each other. Another thing that I do now that causes my life to be a lot more positive and me to be happier is that sometimes you see odd things, okay? Odd things out in the world that's a little bit like normal person would say, gross, like what the fuck? And honestly, I used to be that person like, oh, what the fuck were they thinking when they fucking put that outfit on? Or like, what the hell are they wearing? Or like, what's up with this, that? It's a judgment thing that you can pass upon someone who crosses your path. So now when I see something a little bit odd, in my mind I say, interesting, instead of passing those negative words out, because you know what? Karma's a bitch and it comes back at you. So don't be surprised when someone is judging and critiquing you in an unfair way when all the time you're talking this negative shit in your head, or even saying it to your friends like, oh my god, that person is So I just try to really just be like, interesting, and just let it go. Another way in which I have improved my life is service. So in life, there are many people who are servicing you. This means at the drive-thru, at the grocery store, at the restaurant, these people are helping you, servicing you. And this creates many opportunities in which you can experience bad service. I see people who get the wrong order at Tim Hortons and make a fucking Facebook status about it. And that person is obviously not happy in their life, because if they can't handle the fuck up at the Tim Hortons, they can't handle a lot of shit in life. Obviously, Tim Hortons, I don't know if you're American or whatever, Tim Hortons is like a Starbucks. So people make mistakes, you are not perfect, you've made mistakes, so know that it's the same for everybody else. When something happens where it doesn't go my way, I just, whatever. Like the other day, I went to Tim Hortons and I got my order wrong and I was like, well, I don't want this, so I'll go here. And I went somewhere else and ate other food. That choice to just accept it and be at peace with it makes my life, and same with the other person, happier, especially if I could have went back and been a bitch to them and caused a big whatever scene. Yeah, this is pretty much just a bunch of ways in which you can be a kinder, happier person by accepting and changing your perception of things and changing the way in which you react to people, and that's about it. So thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe if you like this video and you want me to make more, because it is the reason why I make the videos. And otherwise, have yourself a great day. See you soon.